This is a special presentation from UFC Fight Pass. Step into our world at UFCFightPass.com.
Well, the center of the combat sports world is in the Big Apple, New York City, as UFC is in town for UFC 295. It goes down tomorrow at the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden. We're in Times Square. It's Extra Rounds. I'm TJ DeSantis. Hey, everybody, alongside Jason Anik. Remember the name, Belal Muhammad, and the man, the myth, the legend, the Hall of Famer, Don Frye, kind enough to stop by. How you doing, Don?
Good, man. I'm good.
Yeah?
How you all doing today?
We're great. We're great. New York City, it's, the mecca for sports and entertainment. And I could just only imagine what it would have been like if you made the walk at Madison Square Garden.
That'd have been fun. I think back then I'd only been walking to jail, you know. The way they were going with that stuff, yeah, shit.
Hey, there's still time, Don. There's still time.
Let's get back in there, but as long as I don't have to carry a card, you know.
Man. You know, Belal, obviously you're, a top shelf contender. We've seen the sport grow, over the years. I'm curious, were you ever watching Don Frye? Was Don an inspiration to you?
Yeah, for sure. A legend of the game. When you look at him and you look back at the old guys, those are the guys that paved the way for all of us.
Old guys?
No, the other generation.
Is it like a roast here or what, man?
You're a legend. I'm just, nothing but respect, but I'm just saying, like, the people that started MMA, the UFC,
right.
Like, they opened the doors for all of us.
Yeah. Don, I look at your era, and like half the time I look at clips and I'll see guys wearing gloves. The other half, I don't see them wearing gloves. Did you fight without gloves?
No, before I got in the UFC, I did a couple of fights, without gloves.
Enough about last Saturday night.
Right, yeah. She was a tough bitch.
Oh, man. You're going to get us kicked out of here before we've even begun.
Yeah, she got a couple good ones in on me, I'll tell you.
Jeez. So, are you going to the fights tomorrow?
Yes, sir, I am. Yeah.
I feel like you got to have like a season ticket to every UFC. Well, once you're in the Hall of Fame, you should have a seat for every fight, right?
Yeah, they do. They give you 2 tickets to any fight you can make it to on your own.
That's awesome.
They need to have his name on a seat, like, just like the Spike Lee and the New York Knicks right there.
That's it. I can't read, so, I can't put my photo on there.
We got a heck of a fight in the main event. Obviously, we were supposed to see John Jones and Stipe Miocic, but I think the UFC has done a wonderful job at putting together a card that is worthy of Madison Square Garden. Like, this is a building you have to bring your A game. If you don't have the best, you can offer, why even come to the building? But 2 title fights, Yuri Prochazka coming back. Yuri's a guy that is fireworks. He can't blink when he takes the octagon, and we're going to get a new UFC light heavyweight champion. I look at this 205-pound division, guys. It's been one of just turnover after turnover. Sort of curveball after curveball, and I don't know. Are you a fan of Yuri Prochazka, Don? Do you?
Yeah, of course I am. He brings it.
He does.
He's fun to watch. He doesn't slack in the ring. He gets. They say fight. He's there to fight.
Yeah, I love that top knot he has as well. We got. Look under Don's hat. I think we got one of these cutouts somewhere. There it is. Look at this top knot. I mean,
pretty good.
I could probably do
Looks
that
familiar.
look, but just in the back. You know what I mean?
Right.
You got it. No offense. Your top knot's
No, it
not.
doesn't touch it. No, it doesn't touch it. It's all right. I'm not as tough either. That's all right.
No.
But no, I mean, just this whole fight card is electric, and the top 2 fights. Forget about this light heavyweight championship. I can't wait for it. Jamal Hill still has it, though. Our boy, Sweet Dreams. But that'll be vacated on these 2 guys. I mean, you talk about Yuri, but Alex Pineda. Dangerous as they come as well.
No, absolutely. It's, again, a main event that is definitely worth keeping your eyes on. You got to bring your A game to Madison Square Garden. I'm curious, Don, you've seen the sport change and evolve, and weight classes are very much a thing. And for Alex Pereira, he is coming into a different weight class. Do you think we're going to see a different fighter in him being at 205 compared to when he was at 185?
Oh, definitely, because, once you said, hell, I'm not going to cut weight anymore, screw that nonsense, you start eating better.
Right.
And you get to rest better, because you're not hungry. And so your training changes, and what you do is just maintain the conditioning. I lost it there, man. I couldn't. I saw Chael Sonnen with glasses and a flat top. He looked like a Howie Long mini-me, you know. I was startled there. And, but yeah, I mean, you just got to work on your conditioning because the speed's going to be better than the regular 205 pounders.
Yeah, you know, I'm curious what we should expect from Yuri too. He's been off for a long time, coming back from a horrific sounding injury. You know, John, when you had a layoff in your career, were you someone that felt like you had to knock off the rust coming back? Was it? Do you believe in ring rust?
I believe it's there, yeah, but I never took the time off and didn't believe in it myself, you know. I took a couple lumps doing that, you know. So I guess it's true.
You're from the era of rub some dirt on it, you'll be all right.
That's it, yeah. Put some dirt on it, boy, and get back in there, you know. That's it.
So what is Don Frye doing in New York City on a Friday night?
Well, hell, drinking some beer.
There you go.
Go and look at the girls and hope they are girls, you know. You never know nowadays. So.
What do you say to that, Jason?
Don Frye right out of the gate. I mean, what else do you need?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think everything he says you could put on a T-shirt.
Absolutely. Right? Hell of a T-shirt.
Absolutely. You might get kicked out of places if you wear that T-shirt, certain places, but
they'll sell out, though.
Absolutely. Long line to buy the Don Frye T-shirts. We're in Dave & Buster's here in Times Square. You play games, Don? You try to do the claw machine, anything like that?
Never did. I got a addictive personality, so I did that once. I got involved in the game stuff back when I was at Oklahoma State University, and I spent more time playing the game than going to college and going to wrestling room, you know. So it ruined my life. So
Really?
I don't touch.
Do you remember what the game was? Like, what were you
Yeah,
doing?
it was Zelda.
Zelda.
Legend of
Nice.
Zelda, yeah.
That's awesome.
The old stuff, you know, where ding, 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 ding.
Right.
And she whooped my ass, you know. So I don't think I can compete with this new stuff.
See, that's a problem. I realized I have aged out of video games when my kid, you know, can do all these moves in Tekken, and I can, like, just throw a jab at this point.
Right.
So many buttons, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard.
Glass Jojo, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or Glass Jaw Joe, that's what it was.
I mean, everyone's a glass jaw in front of you, Don Frye.
Yeah. Well, I hope so.
Absolutely.
I don't want to fight any tough women anymore.
All right, John, well, I'll let you get on your way.
All right.
Get up to some
Kicking me
trouble.
out already, huh?
I mean,
Jeez.
let you go. Let you go.
Jeez. I guess
I mean, if you want to hang out, you can hang out as long as you want. It's a Don Frye show with Don Frye's now. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I mean, we haven't even talked about the co-main event. We've got a heavyweight championship on the line. We were supposed to. Let's start here. We were supposed to see John Jones take on Stipe Miocic.
Yeah, that pissed me off.
It's a bum out, right?
Call, huh?
Yeah, like to me, I'm curious in your opinion, Don. Where does John rank all time? Because for me, I think he's the most talented individual to ever step foot in the octagon.
Well, you know, I think Kevin Rambleman owns that record. You know, owns that title. You know, Kevin Rambleman was most athletic.
He was the best pure athlete,
yeah,
for sure.
He was the greatest athlete that ever entered the ring, you know. And John's second to him. And it's going to be interesting to see how he comes back, you know.
Yeah.
But it also, Steep's got a little bit of ring rust on him, too.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a hard fight to pick, I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, and, you know, I'm actually happy that we're not seeing Miocic against a replacement here. I think that if you're going to make that fight, you got to make that fight first. Don't risk, you know, having something like Stipe losing. If you're going to have him fight John Jones, just have him fight straight away. You know? I'd have had the replacement, but I would have had a guarantee that I get to fight John. You know, no matter what the outcome is. You know?
Yeah, but it takes away the hype. If you lose, like, say if Stipe goes out there, fights one of these young guns, then he loses, then it like takes away from the legend Stipe Miocic against legend John Jones.
Right.
Because Stipe's coming off a big loss to one of these young guys just recently.
But it builds a second fight, the alternate fight, bigger. You know?
Yeah, that's a good point.
So anyway, the promoters are a winner, and the fans are too.
Yeah.
Yeah, without question. So let's look at the fight we have in front of us in our co-main event for the interim UFC Heavyweight Championship. Sergey Pavlovich is, man, he's a stud, guys. Like, he's been on this win streak. I think his last loss was in 2018. That's a lifetime ago in this sport. And he's taking on Tom Aspinall, who, you know, he had a pretty bad injury about a year ago, year and some change. And Belal, your thoughts on Aspinall and Pavlovich?
Aspinall is a different type of heavyweight, right? He's that new athletic guy that's that big, and he has great footwork, great boxing, great hands. Then you look at Pavlovich, who has just as fast as hands, his power, and he also has great wrestling. I was at the fight with Aspinall when he fought Curtis Blades, and I saw him go down, and I was like so bummed because you wanted to see him go against that next level guy, right? You wanted to see him go against Curtis Blades, and then he takes that time off, he comes back, and he wins dominantly against Marcin Tybura. So this fight, I think it's a heavyweight title fight. People will say it's John Jones, definitely a champion, but I still think both of these guys can be a champion any day of the week. So I'm excited for this fight, no matter what.
And you know, the mindset and sort of ice-cold demeanor of Sergey Pavlovich, very on brand for Russians. Even going back to the days of like Oleg Taktarov, you know, like those guys, they're just a different breed.
Oh yeah, they grow up different, and you know, they come here to get running water, you know, and indoor plumbing, you know, and they're excited as hell about that, you know. So they train their asses off, and they bring it. When it comes to fight, they're gonna fight.
Have you ever trained with any of those guys from Russia or anything over the years?
No, never had the opportunity.
No?
You know? Yeah.
It'd be kind of weird, the guy fighting in, you know, American flag trunks, rolling around with.
For the Russians.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
commie.
I mean, Don Frye, ladies and gentlemen.
Right?
Do you, any way you lean here in our co-main event? Is it Tom Aspinall, Sergey Pavlovich?
I'm going with Pavlovich.
Yeah?
Yeah. I just think he's, you know, he's got the package. I mean, he's overly aggressive, and you know, he's a smart fighter, and he's tougher than hell.
What do you think the path to victory for Pavlovich is, Belal? Is it just that power?
Obviously, his power, he got great speed, but Aspinall's one of those guys, he keeps his chin up. Like, he's not afraid to rush in, but he leaves openings when he rushes in. And Pavlovich's hands are so fast, and he comes out so hard, so quickly that anybody, any heavyweight, could get caught by him. They're going to sleep. So I think he just needs to step on it right away, put Aspinall on his back foot, careful of the takedowns, because Aspinall does got great takedowns and great athleticism, and he has good timing on his takedowns. He understands when to shoot, when to go underneath, and when to just use a stand-up. Like, he's going to use his footwork moving around. So Pavlovich needs to cut off the cage, stay in front of him, make him uncomfortable, and then when Aspinall rushes in out of, you know, frustration, that's when he can catch him.
Yeah, you know, I look at the heavyweight division, and over the years, it's been one of, you know, constant turnover. It's hard to defend this title. I think Stipe's done it the most with the 3 title defenses. It's just not something that a lot of guys can hang on to. And Donna, it's got to just be the simple power that they carry at heavyweight. Those guys are just, you know, they're men among men, gods among men when it comes to the power department.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's why everybody loves a heavyweight fight, because you know it's going to be a knockout. You know?
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's fun watching lightweights, their speed and their agility and all that, but you want to see somebody get knocked on their ass. I mean, let's face it.
Who do you think the greatest heavyweight ever was in mixed martial arts in the UFC?
Don Frye.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah, that's it, man.
I'm not going to argue with that.
Yeah, that's it, baby. Man only had 1 loss in the UFC. You know?
Let's go.
So, who can argue with that?
Exactly right. Exactly right.
You know, there's been so many good fighters. You know, Coleman, Severn, you know, Maurice Smith. And now you got Jones at the heavyweight. So, you know, Stipe was there. He collected a lot of gold, you know. He did a hell of a job. It's going to be a great fight.
I mean, you got to back Stipe Miocic being a former firefighter yourself. Like,
Right.
firefighters are different breeds of human being.
They ain't too smart, are they?
I mean,
They go running in a fire when everybody else running out, you know.
sometimes a lack of thought in stressful situations can be a good thing. It can be a strength.
Immoralizing, yeah.
Yeah. You know, but I look at the heavyweight division, you mentioned a lot of wrestlers. Maurice Smith was a guy that, you know, kind of broke that mold of ground and pound being the way of the heavyweight.
Right.
And how much do you think the talent at heavyweight has changed over the years? Because we've seen so many different styles come through, but I still feel like if you have a wrestling game, especially in the heavyweight division, you can kind of dictate the pace and where the fight goes.
Oh, absolutely. You know, because you have the strength and the knowledge to keep the man down. You know, to throw him on the ground and keep him there. And you know, and then it's up to them to get their ass out of there. The old jiu-jitsu theory of laying there and letting the guy get tired out, you know, bigger guy get tired out just doesn't work when you got a professional athlete.
Yeah, I mean, Belal, you're obviously fighting at the highest of highs right now, #1 contender in our books. How important do you feel wrestling is for mixed martial arts to get to the highest level? Because obviously, you know, we see athletes come up that have been wrestling since they're single digits in age. It's hard to make up for that gap if you say you come from a kickboxing base, you try to transition to mixed martial arts. Is it something that can be done on the fast track and try to make up for lost time when you don't have that, long, lengthy experience wrestling?
It just depends on how much effort you put into it, because wrestling is the hardest thing to do. And I see it all the time in the gym when I have strikers. When it's wrestling practice, nobody shows up. When it's sparring day or striking day, everybody's in the room, because wrestling is hard. You're getting manhandled by guys that are smaller than you. They're pulling you, dragging you.
Right.
A lot of guys don't like to do that because they don't like how they're going to feel. They don't, they feel demasculized. And you're like, well,
there's no
how's this little
place
guy?
to rest.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when you're stand-up sparring, you can back up and stay
Right.
out of range and rest.
Yeah.
When you're wrestling,
You're in the trenches.
There's no rest.
Yeah,
The guy got a hold of you. You know, you're pissed. You know.
Yeah, I mean, you
you're
even
getting
get the
broken
takedown,
down.
you don't get to rest. You got to
Right.
hold them down, yeah.
Right.
Who got the better of the wrestling exchanges back in the day, you or John Anik, Jason?
Well, that's a great question. It was really a double team on our little brother Dave. So
Oh, poor Dave.
yeah, that's okay. It was a little tag team effort against him. But I tell you, talk about this heavyweight fight. And for me, I feel like I was on an island. But when John Jones, I would love him to get healthy, don't get me wrong, but I think we got really the two best heavyweights in the world right now. The future is now for me in this heavyweight, co-main, light heavyweight main event. I don't think the promotion could put on two better fights. I respect my boy Jamal Hill, but these two light heavyweights, I can't get enough of this card. So for me, the heavyweight component, it is what it is. Those guys, frankly, Stipe and John Jones, I think all four gloves were going to be on the cage. Both of them were going to retire after this fight. So to me, I like keeping it going. I think this heavyweight division is a little more stacked than it was in the past, a little more depth. I can't wait for tomorrow night.
I mean, you mentioned Pavlovich. A lot of people thought that he was the one that should have been standing in front of John Jones anyway. So, definitely. I mean, the UFC does this a few times a year. It's not something that you always want to have happen, but when they have a card that quote-unquote falls apart and they come back with a card that is arguably stronger than the one that they initially had, like, that says something, man.
I'm telling you.
It just says how good the fighters are, even too, for stepping up.
Yeah.
Aspinall, Pavlovich was training for the backup role, but Aspinall, for him to step up and fight a guy like Pavlovich that nobody wants to fight,
Right.
it shows that he really thinks he could be the champion. And it also shows the UFC, Dana White, like, they want to put on the best fights, so they know how to make it happen.
Yeah.
And we're in the best sport in the world, the best company in the world.
Well, they got a great deep pool of talent, to draw from, and fights coming up. If you're not on the card, you getting your ass in the gym and train,
Right.
just in case.
Yeah. Back in the day, were you a guy that always sort of lived in the gym?
Yeah, I was there all the time. It's a 24-hour day job. You sleep, you eat, and you train, and you're constantly thinking about training. So how to improve where you're weak, and always work on your conditioning.
Yeah, I feel like you had to do that just because of the way Pride did business back in the day. You didn't know if you were going to have a fight in like 2 days' notice or not. It's like,
Right.
hey, can you come to Japan? Yeah, I'll come to Japan. You think you're going just to watch a fight. All of a sudden, you find yourself in front of a monster.
Yeah, that was what happened the last Frye show. Yeah, they brought me there for an interview, and then if we got 4 days, you want to fight? Shit, sure.
I bought my shorts.
You just travel with your shorts, exactly.
That's it. You always bring your mouthpiece wherever you go.
I feel like that was the case below in the Midwest in the earlier days of mixed martial arts as well. Like, if you go to a local show, you might as well bring your mouthpiece and a cup, because you don't know. Someone might fall out. You might get some work put in.
Yeah, it was so hard because it's hard to find guys that are willing to fight me. And I was a guy that was, if you got an opening, call me. Please call me. Please call me. Because I'm a guy like Don. I was always in the gym, always training. And you never knew when you would find an opening, because it's so hard on the local scene to find anything any guys that are willing to fight you.
You're probably like, I'm Belal Muhammad. Remember the name. In case you need somebody, remember the name.
Yeah, that was our big joke back when I was fighting for Pride. I was like, what are you doing tomorrow? You want to go to Japan and fight? And it wasn't really a joke.
Right? Yeah. You have a favorite Pride moment?
Shit. Yeah, I guess when I beat Ken Shamrock, you know, just being able to stand on 2 broken ankles.
Yeah.
I was happy about that.
Pride 19 Bad Blood, I believe it was called.
That poor little girl handed me that trophy. I grabbed hold of her hand and I squoze it, and, you know, trying to hold myself up, and you can see the pain on her face. She's trying to smile, but she's screaming.
Oh, man. I bring this up because we're in New York City, and I remember when you fought just days removed from 9/11 in the fighter parade, when you're standing out there with your hand on your heart and, you know, sympathies with the United States after a really tough time. You were the American fighter of American fans. You were the guy doing things. I couldn't imagine what those emotions were probably like for you.
It was weird. It was weird because I was coming back. You know, I mean, I had left fighting to go do pro wrestling for 4 years, and then I was coming back, and then I was over in Japan when 9/11 happened, and it's such a strange moment, you know, when it happened, and to stand in front of that crowd with the flag,
Yeah.
you know, proudest day of my life.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's why people still sing your praises to this day. You were a fighter's fighter, a fan's fighter, and I'm just happy to get to hang out with you, Tom. You know, still around, still loving the sport as much as ever, and that's special.
I have a good time. I can still breathe, you know, through my nose. not great, but, you know, and sometimes it takes a little work, but, you know, that's one of the side effects of fighting. You accumulate injuries.
That's right.
And, you know, you wake up one day and you, holy balls, what was I thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I've met a fighter yet that has competed at the high level that doesn't have some sort of deviation in their septum at this point, right? Yeah, exactly right. So, all right, Don, I'm going to let you go now.
All right, guys, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Don Frye, kind enough to join us here for extra rounds in New York City. I'm TJ DeSantis. He's Jason Anik. Remember the name, Belal Muhammad. Remember the show a little bit later on today.
Yes,
We're
sir.
going to bust it out. I'm excited for that.
Can't wait.
Yeah. So you're a Boston guy, you know. There's a big rivalry between Boston and New York City. Are you able to sort of separate yourself from that and give New York the love and respect it deserves as the world's greatest city?
No doubt about it. Well, last November was my first time actually in Madison Square Garden in the first place, which was a little shocking given the proximity. But no, as I get older, the Boston sports fan in me fades a little bit. I got a lot of love for this city and the energy in this city. I always have. So we're trying to get my boy to fight in Chicago, though, in his hometown coming up soon. But being in here, being in the Mecca tomorrow night, what else are you looking for?
I'm not going to lie, Chicago is my favorite city in these United States, but New York is pretty awesome. And the building itself, Madison Square Garden, it is the mecca of boxing. It was the mecca, to me, of combat sports. We saw that on display last night with Callum Walsh in the theater at MSG. You know, it's not about me by any means, but as a broadcaster to work that building like I did last night, you get chills walking into that building. And man, the fight that we got, he's joining us now, King Callum Walsh. Put on a phenomenal show. If you missed it at all, please go check it out. It's archived right now on UFC Fight Pass. Callum, we've talked a lot over the last couple of years about fighters not bringing the fight to you. Last night you found yourself in a fight with Ishmael Villarreal. How you feeling one day removed?
I'm a bit sore, but it's normal. But I proved it a good chin anyway. I took some big shots and I threw some big shots, and it was a good fight. It was a good fight for the fans, and it was a good fight for everyone that showed up, you know.
Yeah, I think that, you know, we're watching you grow and evolve coming up as a boxer. Very few people do it in the spotlight that you are. I think that it was good that we saw you in a fight where your heart and durability was tested. But one thing I think we saw in spades was you looked like you were just having fun out there.
Yeah, I was trying to enjoy it. No, he was throwing some big shots, and I was thinking I might as well enjoy this now while I can. But yeah, I know, like I said, that's what I want to do. I want to put on good fights. I want to fight tough opponents, and I want to put on good fights for the fans. And I've always said that, and that's what I'm doing.
You looked pretty confident throughout the fight. When the final bell rang, Did you know that you were up as much as you were on the scorecards?
Yeah, definitely. I won. I would give him 2 rounds, you know, maybe where I was a bit tired or maybe at the start when it was a bit slow. But yeah, I felt like I won every other round comfortably.
Yeah, no, we saw your hand speed. You were basically playing the speed bag with his head. He was trying to say, oh, it's not a big deal, but you rocked him and hurt him multiple times. I thought that was fun, but I also saw that little elevation, that little pickup. You almost dumped him on his head.
I was going to suplex him and ask Dana for a contract.
Are you doing any type of grappling or anything right now?
Yeah, a small bit. I'm going to start now. Once I've time off, I'll start doing some jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
But I've done a small bit. I've done some training with Tony Ferguson and stuff, but I'm going to start seriously now I'm going to do 10 weeks maybe of jiu-jitsu here now over the next few weeks.
When you're at the UFC fights, you're looking at, guys fighting MMA. Are you like seeing it from your point of view if you're in the cage, or like,
yeah.
Oh man, I would kill this guy, or I could use this, or something like this type of footwork in boxing would work in MMA?
Yeah, I always think about it from my boxing perspective, how I would use my boxing in MMA, different footwork and stuff like that. And even when I'm training with people, I always think about like the stuff I do in boxing, how I would change it to MMA. And I'm learning, and I feel like I would have a very unique style, if I was to go into MMA.
Yeah, I'm curious how much your boxing stance would have to change for mixed martial arts, because you can't stand too square to guys because the takedown would come, and obviously that's going to change things. But I also think that your boxing ability would open up a lot more. Like if you were able to throw elbows in the clinch, man, like that'd be interesting.
Yeah, definitely. I always think about it. But I watch more MMA than I do boxing.
Right.
So I have a good understanding of MMA, but maybe I'm not able to do it physically. But I understand stuff, and I'm a quick learner. So I feel like if I was to put the head down and train properly for a couple of years, I feel like I would do well,
Yeah, I think it's a matter of not if, but when King Callum makes the transition over to MMA. But obviously a lot still to do in the boxing world. Let's talk about the walk last night. The theater at Madison Square Garden, a phenomenal backdrop, the mecca of boxing. What was it like to, were you able to enjoy the process and just walking into that ring in that building?
Yeah, I enjoyed it, even though they played the wrong song.
I know. What happened there?
I don't know what happened. I was walking out, and I was like, what the fuck is this? I felt like when Mike Perry was walking out the Halo. And
Right.
That's what I felt like. I was like, what is this? But I was like, I'll just go with it here now. And they played the right one at the end, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah, I enjoyed it. There was a good crowd there. There was a good buzz. He had a few fans, and it was a good mixture of people there.
Yeah, no, definitely. Obviously, you were fighting Ishmael Villarreal, who's from the Bronx. But, man, the Irish, they always come out in force. And that was probably the most electric atmosphere I've been in a while. Do you hear that when you're fighting? Do you hear the crowd?
Yeah, I could hear it. I could feel it, and that's what I was happy. It was they didn't just show up to see me beat someone up. I wouldn't have been as electric if that was the case. If I finished him in 1 or 2 rounds or 3 rounds. I'm happy that we actually had a good fight, and everybody that was there last night will come again. They all felt the buzz and they felt how good it was, and I think they'll show up to see me fight again.
No, without question. Let me ask you this: what was your biggest takeaway from the fight? What did you learn the most about yourself from last night's fight?
That I have a good chin.
Yeah.
That I took some big shots, and I was never really hurt. Even that knockdown, he pushed me. I don't think he should have counted as a knockdown. He had his 2 hands and he pushed.
Right.
I wasn't wobbled, I wasn't rocked. Even when I got back up and I was getting the count, I was like, he pushed me. But it is what it is. Okay, that was the first time I ever got a count. First time I was ever done. But in my whole career, even as an amateur.
Well, in the booth, we actually didn't know if it was a knockdown because the count was kind of quick. I mean, Villarreal was celebrating like he had just won the fight.
Yeah, like he was after winning the world title.
Right, yeah.
Relax, man. You're after losing the fight.
Yeah, no, but I think that is a good thing. I mean, you probably knew about yourself that you have that fighting spirit and can bite down on the mouthpiece after taking damage, but it's good to show the world that when the lights are on.
Yeah, no, it was good to show people that I'm not afraid to take a punch, I'll stand there and take them too if I have to, even though people probably say I shouldn't, but fuck it happens.
What kind of coaches do you have? Are you like the coaches that are like, hey, what are you doing? Stop, relax, you can win it easier. Or you're like, I want to be in the fire right now.
They were telling me to make it easier, to be fair, but I was getting a bit involved with the crowd and everything, and I wanted to get involved in the fight, but I probably could have done it easier.
Yeah, Peter Welch was on the commentary with me, and he's like, Why is Callum welcoming into a firefight right now? Like, he's up on the scorecards. Why?
Yeah, because everybody was telling me jab, but my knuckle, every time I jab, I could feel my knuckle landing, and it was just sore. And then I was trying to throw my jab like this, and it just wasn't working.
When did that happen?
I was early, but I didn't want to throw too many jabs. I wanted to just, I don't know, these things happen, there's nothing you can do about it, you know.
It's very loud in here right now. I'm going to wait a brief moment. But King Callum Walsh, kind enough to join us here at Dave & Buster's in Times Square. Very long message right now. Belal Muhammad's here. All right. Last question. We'll get you on your way. What are you going to do to celebrate?
I'm going to relax now until Tabitha wins tomorrow. And see, that's the thing, I can't celebrate yet because it's only half the job is done now, and then she has to win tomorrow. So after that, we're here till Monday, so we'll probably celebrate after.
Did you have to help her cut weight right after the fight?
I went to the weigh-in this morning. I was up late last night, and straight to the weigh-in this morning at 8 a.m. I got about 2 hours sleep. But no, she's all right. She's professional. She knows what to do.
Yeah, the Baby Shark and the King, a power couple in both boxing and mixed martial arts. We'll let you get back to your time off, I guess, now. But you know when you're going to come back? Any idea?
As soon as possible. I'm ready, you know. That's the thing, I don't really want to take any time off after this fight. I'll probably start training Monday and just as soon as possible get some more money in my pocket.
Well, there you go. Callum Walsh, appreciate your time and congrats on a huge win.
Thank you.
There he is, the King, Callum Walsh, kind enough to join us here on Extra Rounds as we are live at Dave & Buster's in Times Square. Big UFC show going on tomorrow in the mecca of combat sports, Madison Square Garden, and we are going to break it down as we are hanging out here on Extra Rounds. We just had one king on, and now we got another king coming. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu royalty, the man, Gordon Ryan, kind enough to join us. Gordon, I'll have you throw on that headset right there.
Both these guys in that young LA over here, huh? Nice.
This is actually a sweatshirt that John Jones gave me, and it's like 5 inches too long for my actual body because it's his size, so it's like it barely fits me. I'm just pretending for it to actually fit me.
Hey, we were talking about John a little bit earlier, and again, for my money, I think he's the greatest to ever do it. What was it like spending that time with John and getting to roll around with him?
It was very, very interesting. He's very intuitive. He has an incredible ability to change his game plan in the middle of the round or round to round and adjust as you go. And that was the most impressive thing for me.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that is so gifted in so many ways. And I think that because of his physical attributes, not a lot of people talk about his fight IQ. I mean, when you look at his first fight with Alexander Gustafsson, like tactics are what won that fight. He had a game opponent in front of him. Probably doesn't get the credit he deserves from a cerebral level.
No, yeah, and the rematches he does better every time. Like he's very, very intelligent, and he can change game plans on the drop of a dime.
Yeah, what is his jiu-jitsu game like? How does he learn? I mean, obviously you were rolling with him, probably exchanging some techniques. Is he a good student, if you will?
Yeah, he's a very good student. He kind of he learns different. He kind of bounces around from different positions. Like he's like, okay, we're gonna do turtle position. And then he asked a few questions, and he's like, all right, I want to go over some darces. And I'm like, all right. And then we do those for a little while, and he's like, all right, well, let's look at some guillotines. And I'm like, it's just like completely different subjects throughout the course of the private or the session. But that's kind of how he learns. He can't stick with anything for any amount of time. But it's just the way that he learns. And I kind of let him lead the sessions, and then I just kind of adapted as we went. But it works for him, and he can't really say anything because he's been winning for the last 15 years. So I was like, all right, however you want to learn, that's how I'll teach, and we'll kind of go like that.
Did you learn anything from him with your time?
Oh, yeah, we wrestled a lot, and, it was very interesting just being around another exceptional human being.
Right.
And so, there's always a ton of stuff to learn from other people who are, gifted in any area in their domain. So it was kind of a mutually beneficial relationship. I went there to teach him and train with him, but there's a lot of stuff that I picked up from him as well.
I think that's something that I hear from a lot of people that are, exceptional in what they do and teach it to other people. You learn more about yourself sometimes when you're trying to teach other people, and I think someone, like you said, who is exceptional at combat sports as John Jones is, you're probably going to learn some things you didn't expect to learn when you were on the mat.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the same with just anyone exceptional in any field, whether
Right.
it's a guy who does stocks or any walk of life. Who, if you can surround yourself with exceptional people, you're gonna progress yourself.
Well, you're pretty damn exceptional on the mat. We got the UFC Fight Pass Invitational coming up. Tell us about it. Tell us about getting back in the apex and bringing the sport to a higher level.
I'm excited. Mason Fowler has been winning on Fight Pass for the last couple of years. He just won the last Fight Pass Invitational and won that tournament. He actually beat my teammate Luke Griffith and ended up winning that. So the match with Mason is something that's been in the works for a long time. We just kind of never quite got our schedules or the rule set agreed upon for the last couple of years. But now going into this, we have the contract signed, and it's a match that the fans have wanted to see. And I'm looking forward to kind of feeling a new opponent, because most of the guys that I've competed against, I've already competed against a few times, so I know kind of what to expect. Whereas with Mason, it's completely new. I've never felt his game. I've never felt his physicality. I don't know how he moves or how he reacts. So the only thing I have to go off of is the tape study. So it'll be really interesting going in and competing against him after all these years of almost getting matches, but not quite getting there.
Are you a guy that does a lot of tape study, or do you leave that up to John? Like, what do you do with opponents?
And for general stuff, mostly John, because he just studies tape all the time.
Right.
But when I have a specific opponent, then I'll look at specific stuff that correlates to that guy. I'll do a lot of tape study.
Awesome. What do you expect this match to look like?
Him just trying to get to overtime and score points on me, just trying to not get submitted or not get put in compromising positions, because it's 20 minutes and then it's a 5-minute overtime.
Right.
And that's really that's, in my opinion, his only chance to win. He's not really going to finish me. But if he can score on me, then he can definitely beat me. So I think it'll be a lot of me chasing him around the mat, trying to get him to engage, and primarily trying to get top position, whether it be through sweeping him or through taking him down. Because then once I'm in top position, you can't stall from there. So I think that it'll be him trying to play a cagey game and look for opportunities, and me trying to deliberately put him into positions which will force him to do jiu-jitsu.
I love the aspect of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in the rule sets where you can have that long endurance round. We don't get that in mixed martial arts anymore. Back in the day, like, the UFC was like one 15-minute round. If you could sort of pick the perfect scenario for Jiu-Jitsu, don't think of like the spectators mindset or anything. What would a format of a match look like as far as time?
Spectators removed, I think no time limit, submission only, because the work rate will give you the discrepancy in efficiency and skill will give you a discrepancy in work rate. And so the person working harder will always inherently fatigue faster. And so number one, you actually have to do jiu-jitsu. There has to be submission, which is like the equivalent of a knockout for us in striking. And so the harder your opponent's working, because of the efficiency discrepancy, the more tired they'll get over time, and the pressure over time will eventually lead the better fighter to winning. But you obviously can't do no time limit submission only for tournaments, because you can have a 4-hour-long match and nobody wants to watch that. But I think for just determining who the best athlete is, I think no time limit submission only is the way to do it. So there is a place for that.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's kind of like the old Gracie Challenge way back in the day, So what's your schedule like, leading up to Mason? Like, you're a guy that's been battling battles off the mat. You've had, you've been very open about your stomach issues and things like that. Are you healthy? Are you feeling better than where you were at?
I'm doing okay. My stomach's been flaring up the last couple of weeks. I'm actually pretty nauseous right now, so I'm just dealing with that. But other than that, it's been better than it has been in previous years, and I've been healthy enough to actually compete. So I just do every few months I do some checkups with my doctor, and we kind of run my levels, and everything's coming down, but it's still way high. But it's been all right. It's been decent enough to train and compete, so I'm not really complaining.
There you go. I look at what you've done in the sport, and you've elevated, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to a level that I don't think it's really ever been to prior to your run here. EBI, ADCC, shining on the Fight Pass stage. Do you feel that pressure, Gordon? Do you feel like the sport is depending on you?
I do feel that the sport is depending on me, but I don't really feel pressure because of it, because For me, it's just kind of all fun now. Like I've already built my legacy, and building a legacy was the stressful part. But now it's just kind of getting the sport into a position where future generations can profit. Like where you can get, someone in 10 years who's making, 7-8 figures a grappling match, and having the future generations set up to be in a position where they don't have to teach seminars or privates or make instructionals. They can just make a living on just competing like a real athlete. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do now, which is just more of like a fun project for me. It's not like, the building a legacy and like cementing yourself in history, I think, is the stressful part. And everything after that is just like kind of icing on the cake.
Yeah, what do you think, Jason? I mean, Gordon, to me, has elevated the sport. Obviously, if you're a mixed martial arts fan, you're aware of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but you might not, seek it out as a sport by itself to watch. Has Gordon made you think about Jiu-Jitsu differently?
Yeah, and also blowing me away right now in this 10 minutes just listening to you speak. Seriously, if anyone heard any of that from the John Jones stuff to even, I'm just captivated right now, to be honest. So, and frankly, I did a little work on you today. It's like I look back at do you think back to your toughest, who was your toughest fight ever? Who was the guy that was the toughest fight for you?
Well, there's guys who give different problems, but I think the overall toughest fight would probably be my only submission loss at black belt, which was Felipe Pena, just because I've only been submitted 3 times in competition from white belt until now. But when I fought Felipe, I was confident that I was like the best submission grappler on the planet, and I got submitted by him, and that kind of was like, oh my God, that was terrible. Then we fought the second time, and he beat me again, and then we fought the third time, and then I finally beat him. But I think that first match with Felipe was kind of just like an ego check and a wake-up call. Like, okay, you're very good, but there's still a lot of things you need to work on.
I look at the sport, and the FPI is elevating it. You've been a staple and a star there. Do you think we ever get to the point where a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu match could headline Madison Square Garden?
I think so, because we have T-Mobile is going to probably be sold out for ADCC next year. That's 18,000 people. So I think that it's a little bit out in the distance, but I definitely think that we can definitely do that at some point for sure.
And are you going to be the guy on the marquee that night when that happens?
I think I would have to be headlining for that to happen in the next 5 years for sure. I don't think right now there's just not that many stars in Jiu-Jitsu, and those guys are have the personalities of rocks. So it's hard to and the most important thing, which is not even the personality, it's the ability to win multiple matches in a row. To get a guy to win even 5 matches in a row in Jiu-Jitsu is pretty hard. To win 10 matches in a row, you don't really see that. They win 2, they lose 1, they win 3, they lose 2. So to build a star, you need the personality and the charisma off the mat, and then you need the ability to win consistently and beat the best guys in the world. And to find those qualities in Jiu-Jitsu athletes is very difficult at the current moment. So it's an uphill battle for sure.
Yeah, one thing I think is important, I think you've done this very well, is you are committed to Jiu-Jitsu. I mean, you flirted with the idea of combat Jiu-Jitsu. It didn't come to fruition. People would pay you hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to make the transition to MMA, and maybe you do that at some point. But I think that the sport is better off for having you just being a Jiu-Jitsu star. What is it like to have the temptation, or at least people bring these, other options for you to maybe get away from what you are, doing right now?
Well, John's never been wrong about anything, and so I don't really like to go against John Danaher, our coach. And he's at one point he was like, listen, you're already the greatest of all time doing this. You make a ton of money. He's like, there's no real reason for you to go into MMA. And the biggest thing for me is that I feel like Jiu-Jitsu right now is almost on the cusp of being a real mainstream sport. And if I leave Jiu-Jitsu, there's not another star right now to kind of break it through that barrier, so it could regress back to where we used to be. So I feel like it's kind of my duty to Jiu-Jitsu, which is the sport that I initially fell in love with, to kind of get it, to keep it on that trajectory into kind of mainstream sports area. And then, maybe eventually, MMA is not off the table. And it's like you said, I've been offered 7 figures to fight MMA, but it's just not something that I feel like I have to do right now. I feel like I have to do more in Jiu-Jitsu, not just for my accomplishments myself, but just for just growing the sport into where it should be, so that future generations can actually make money doing it.
When you got involved in this sport, did you ever expect the stardom and success that you've realized?
I never really thought about it. I just wanted to win titles. And then
Right.
that breakout tournament, EBI 6, I remember I was working full-time as a garbage man, like right before that, making like $24,000 a year. It was like $2,000 a month. And then I won $25,000 in that EBI. And I was like, oh my God, I'm rich. Like, I'm so rich now. You know, then that first year at Black Belt, I made like, I think a little over $100,000 with seminars and sponsors and everything. And then that's when I kind of realized, like, okay, I think I can kind of get this into a situation where I'm making like millions of dollars a year and then get other people to do that as well. So it kind of all just kind of fell into place perfectly, and I kept winning, thankfully, and it kind of just all took off from there. But my goal was just to be the best in the world, to be the best ever. And then the money and everything else was kind of just an afterthought. Like, because when you're like an 18, 19-year-old kid, like, you have no idea how much money you actually have to like be a rich guy.
Right.
Like, you think if you're like making $100,000 a year, you're loaded.
Right.
And then you have to pay taxes, and you're like, oh well, I'm poor again now.
Yeah.
So for me, it was always just about the accomplishments at first, and then I started to realize, okay, like, you know, now we're doing something different. It's more than just winning the titles at this point.
Well, from the Iron Dragon at EBI 6 to the King at the FPI 5, Gordon, it's been a fun show to watch, and we'll continue to do so next month on Fight Pass.
Should be good. I'm ready for it.
There he is, the King, Gordon Ryan, kind enough to join us here on Extra Rounds as we are live in New York City. I'm TJ DeSantis, along with Jason Anik, Belal Muhammad, hanging out. Big week here, UFC 295. Belal, obviously you would love to be on this card fighting in Madison Square Garden for a title, but, you know, what is it like for you to be in this environment and, you know, be on the inside looking outward, but able still to enjoy it as a fan?
And I was always a fan. That's what I started with at first. I was a fan first, so being here, being able to watch these guys that I love watching. Aspinall is one of my favorite fighters to watch. Sergey is one of my favorite fighters to watch. And then the co-main event, who's not excited about that fight? So to be here, to see all the energy, all the fans here, it's just an amazing thing. And, you know, I get to eat a little bit while I'm in New York, so I'm happy about that as well.
All right, well, it's time for me to give way to you guys. You ready to do Remember the Show?
100%.
All right, let's do it. I press this button. I guess we're technically ending Extra Round, so thanks for watching that, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. But now it's time to Remember the Show.
Yo, it's Remember the Show. Slick with the flows, where the sparring can go. Who's gonna be on, man, you never will know. Guess you better tune in, cause we live from Chicago. Belal Muhammad, that's the king of the tweets. Jason Anik looks like John, step his hands to his feet. Every Thursday we gon' give you a treat. It's Remember the Show, hit play and repeat. And retweet, and retweet, and retweet. And retweet, it's Remember the Show, hit play and repeat.
There we go, Remember the Show.
What's up? Remember the Show live, Dave and Buster, 6 p.m. We appreciate you all here. For those of you that don't know, Belal Muhammad and I host a podcast called Remember the Show on the Anik and Belal podcast. We're going to get some fans involved. It's a game show, kind of a lot like Jeopardy. So hopefully we're going to get some fans up here competing against each other. Got some categories, so let's get the board up, I think, to start. Bully, you want to take them through the categories?
Categories for today. So if this is your first time watching, this is face mash. The first category, two faces mashed together. So imagine two fighters had a baby. You got to tell me which two fighters they are. Second category, whose kid is this? Another filtered category. Third one, Barbie World. These are guy fighters with a girl filter. You got to tell me who the guy fighter is. And then last one, who's your she? So we have a lot of prizes. We like to build a champion up. The last time we were in
Nashville,
we had a 10-year-old kid kill everybody. We had to give him $100. So this time, we brought a pocket full of cash. So if we got any fans out here that are willing to play, if you guys are real MMA fans, let me get two people to step up.
See if we can get Steve to grab.
Show of hands. Who wants to play? Let me see hands.
white sweatshirt, I think. Yeah, there we go. Come on up. Come on.
The issue is we only have one more microphone, so maybe they got to take on me. I don't know.
That's all right. Yeah, we'll have one guy go against TJ.
I'm just trying to insert myself into the mix
Hey,
here.
I hear you.
Well, let's see where you are with this.
I want to flex my muscle here because I don't have many muscles, but I know something about mixed martial arts, a thing or two.
Zelda, he's playing the same game that Don Frye was. Don
right.
Frye,
Oh,
I got
man.
a Zelda shirt on. We're good.
Are you old enough to know Zelda, Bully, or young enough, I should say?
I mean, I remember the Nintendo. I just don't remember the Zelda.
What's up,
man?
buddy?
Put the headphones on right there. How you doing, man? What's your name?
Ian.
Ian.
Yeah.
You play Zelda? Or?
Yeah.
Well, have you ever watched the show? Remember the show?
Does what?
The game show? Have you ever watched our podcast?
I've never seen it.
Well, welcome. This is your first time trying.
Yeah. Actually, today's my birthday, so.
No way. Happy birthday, bro.
Thank you.
It's not going to give me, I'm not going to give you any more money right now for winning, but just have to win the game show.
All right. I'll try.
All right, pick a category. You can start it out.
All right. I guess face mash.
So we're going to do face mash. So you're going to go against TJ.
Hi.
Okay.
The buzzard, you got to say bully first. So the
Okay.
first one of you guys say bully, that's the buzzer.
Okay.
So once we put this category up, either one of you guys can say bully first.
Okay.
Ready? Cody? 2 fighters.
Bully.
Oh, okay. I have no
Wait,
clue.
hold on.
It was him.
I think it was me.
It was him.
That was it.
Yeah.
TJ.
All right. I'm going to say Johnny Walker and Israel Adesanya.
No,
No?
not even close.
Oh.
That's Johnny Walker?
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Do you have an idea who this is?
No clue.
No clue? He just fought a couple weeks ago.
No clue.
Come on, bro. I'll give you a hint. He's a 45-pounder.
No idea.
We got to move on. All right, sorry, brother.
All right.
Wait.
all right.
Hey,
Darn.
who knows? Does anybody know?
Anyone know?
You know?
All right.
Scream his name with confidence and you're up. What?
Yusuf and Barbosa.
Look at you. Step up.
Let's go.
What?
See, white sweatshirt. Yeah.
Hey, thank you.
Oh.
Happy birthday, man.
It's not a smash.
White shirt, step
I
up.
see now. I'm not very good at this game.
You'll be all
2
right.
fighter faces. So it's like 2 guys put together.
Right.
You gonna recognize it?
No.
Come on, TJ, bro.
I'm sorry. I'm going to get better. It's not over yet. It's
You're
early.
up, buddy. What's up, brother? Like slam. Put these headphones on, brother.
What are we playing for? You got prizes, man?
I got a pocket full of cash. So if you
Pocket full of cash.
if you get 5 questions in a row right, you get $100.
Okay.
Or you get a consolation prize. We have a signed card, Panini cards for myself, where you have to get at least 2 questions right. That
Okay.
one didn't count, but it got you here.
Gotcha.
What's your name?
Jasur.
Jazor? All right, brother. We'll let you pick the next category.
Face mash. Let's go again.
Okay, here we go again. 2 fighter faces.
Dober and Green.
You gotta hit the buzzer.
Oh,
Say bully.
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 That's all right, though. We'll give it to him.
You said Dober and Green?
Yeah.
There we go.
All right, so remember,
Come on,
bully's the
TJ.
buzzer. That's one.
All right.
TJ, I really ain't got no money on me. Come on, bro. You gotta beat up these guys. All right, next category.
I can do face mash again?
You can do whatever you want.
All right, face
bro.
mash.
You're the one
Let's go
winning.
again.
2 fighter faces. These are boxers.
Yeah. Canelo and Charlo. Bully.
That's the buzzer.
bully, yeah. Charlo and Canelo.
TJ, what the fuck you doing,
Sorry. Let's talk about UFC 40.
bro? Come on, bro. All right, you got another category. You're gonna burn out.
I got you. Face mash. I'm going 3 for 3.
This is hard.
2 fighters.
Bully.
TJ.
Ronda Rousey and Claudia Gadelha.
No.
Come on.
Bully. Ronda Rousey and Suarez.
Sorry, brother.
Got it
Come
wrong.
on,
Good
bro.
work,
You're
though, man.
close.
Dang.
Good work.
I'm not good at this.
Need
That was
another.
good, though, man. Thank you, brother.
Someone else,
Does
come
anybody know? Anybody know the answer? Raise your hand if you know the answer.
Why'd you bring the hardest ones?
That was an easy one, bro.
This is hard.
Come on, bro. You serious? That's Juliana Pena and Ronda Rousey. Or Matt
Okay.
Ruiz is Ronda Rousey.
Hey, I at least got the Ronda part right.
I need another contestant. Step up.
Come on up, man.
Where's the low-hanging fruit questions?
Come on.
We're gonna end up having a grappling match out here to get on the show.
Give him a card. What's up, brother? How you doing? Put these headphones on.
Yeah, I got you.
What's your name?
Anik.
Anik?
Yeah,
Nice to
it's
meet
It's nice.
second best Anik in MMA.
you. Hey. Okay, so you got the concept of the game.
Yeah.
New guess.
All right.
You're
the
gonna
category
win.
you want.
You're gonna beat me. Don't worry.
All right, I'm gonna go face mash for 500.
Face match 500. So 2 fighter faces here.
Bully. Alexandre Pantoja and Brandon Royval.
Dude,
we know.
And got Alexander. Boy. TJ, man. TJ wanted the smoke.
TJ, what's going on here?
I'm regretting it now, all right?
All right, you're up again.
All right, let's go. Whose kid is this for 300?
Whose kid is this for 300? Two fighters.
Bully.
Two fighters.
Bully. This is Hamzat Chimaev and Bo Nickel.
Yeah,
Wow, that's good.
Yes, sir. Wrestling. It's wrestling.
Bo Shemaev sounds like the Madden-generated player after he's gone like 10 years in franchise mode. They're just creating names.
All right,
man.
again, come on.
All right, let's go. Whose kid is this for 500?
500, pick it up.
Big spender.
Boom, this is a good one.
Bully. All right, this is Jack Della Maddalena. And, oh, man.
3, 2.
And,
come on.
oh, man.
You got it. You had at the edge. TJ,
I got
guess?
nothing. That is a broken nose, though. I'll say
Any guesses
that.
out there?
Someone said it.
You said it?
No.
Come on, bro. You had
You
it.
messed up his face. It messed up the image for
There's
you, man.
two faces. Jack Brady. Thank you, brother.
All
Appreciate
right, man.
you.
Mind if I get a selfie with you?
For sure, bro.
Dude, I wrote a letter for you. You're one of the reasons I loved MMA.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
We need another contestant. Who wants to step up? Nobody?
Thank you, brother.
Nobody wants? Yeah. Come on,
Come
man.
on, who's going to step in?
You're going to be better than me, guys.
Get
Come
in.
on.
Come on. Don't be afraid.
What's up, man?
How you doing, brother? What's up, man?
What's up, buddy? Good to meet you.
Put the headphones on.
All right, TJ, let's go.
All right.
I'm trying.
Give me one answer, TJ.
I'm trying.
All right, you pick the category.
Let's do the whose kid is this
Whose kid is
for
this?
100. Let's take it
100.
easy.
So two fighter faces.
Bully. Oh shit, I don't know this one.
I think I got it.
That's
I got it.
O'Malley and damn, I don't know this one. I'm gonna drop
What
the
do you
ball.
mean? Are you serious?
I got it. Bully.
Let him have it.
Sean O'Malley and Cheeto Vera.
There
There we
it is.
go.
Yes!
Four.
And
I get paid for this.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Bro, that was easy. That was a layup. Come on, somebody step up. You already had it. Come on, what do you got? You guys are chicken?
This guy's
Come
on the
on.
other side of the glass wants him. Let's go. What's up, man? I like those Jordan 4s. That's nice. They're 5s.
How you doing, brother?
What's up, buddy? Grab a headset, pick a category.
Let's go.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Oh, that's pretty good, actually. What's up, Belal Muhammad?
How
Nice
you
to meet
feeling?
you.
What's your
I'm
name?
good. Jose.
Jose, welcome to the show.
Nice. I love this show. This show is awesome.
Appreciate
So
you.
you watched it before?
Of course I do.
There we go.
There
Okay.
we go.
We got a
I went to
veteran here.
280. I went to 280 CU as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for sure.
Now you like even more. You pick the category.
Okay, let's do. I'll see whose kid is this for 400.
400. Let's see if you get a run going, TJ. Two fighters.
Ooh.
Bully. Alex Pajeda and Yuri Prohaska.
Is that really? Is that it?
Bro, are you serious? How did you not know?
It didn't look. I'm sorry.
He just thinks everything is easy.
That was easy.
You know what the problem is? I feel good about myself. Like, I got a hard one. And Bilal's like, yeah, that's easy. That's
I make
fine.
the game show, so it's easy.
Okay.
Sorry, brother. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming. Keep watching the show.
All right, that's 2 in a row for TJ DeSantis.
What do I win?
Oh, we got cash for you, too.
Oh, good.
Huh? Yeah, give him a card, too. Let's go. Who's next? Next
We
contestant.
got him right here. What's up, man? Good, man.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
How you doing, man? Grab a headset.
How's it
There
going?
you go.
You don't want to shake the hands of your opponent. Like, you're trying to beat him, bro.
Sportsmanship.
Seriously, man.
What's up? What's your name?
Shelby.
Shelby?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Where you from?
Louisiana.
I'm about to say, you know Brendan Allen?
No.
You don't know Brendan? Come on, bro. He's the heart of Louisiana.
Main event
Dustin
next weekend,
Poirier. Daniel Cormier.
There you go.
And that Cormier is California. Relax, chill. But you get the point. Get the next category.
Oh, let's go. Who is he or she? 100.
Remember, bully's
All right,
the buzzer.
So this is a guy fighter with a girl filter. So there's only one guy. Tell me who the guy is.
Bully.
TJ.
Nate Diaz.
There we go. Now he's rolling.
I like
Yes!
the Southern Joe. Let's give him
TJ.
another one. Let's give him another
Oh,
one.
man.
I like that Louisiana.
I'm a little slow.
You're all good, bro. We'll give you another shot.
Whose kid is this? 200.
200. So two fighter faces. Two fighters.
Bully. I think we said it at the same time.
Yeah, that's a tie. It goes to the contestant.
John Jones. And
Bro, you said it with confidence.
Oh, I got it. I got it. Bully.
Yeah, you got it.
John Jones and Islam Makhachev.
Boom! The most dominant fighter in history. Thank you, brother. Appreciate
Yes, sir.
you, man.
Good to meet you, man.
Go
All
ahead,
right, TJ
I'll give you a
DeSantis is on
card.
a roll now. Good to meet you, too.
All right.
Next contestant.
We can do two more. We got to wrap up. Kick
Bilal,
this
I'm
out.
We got two more.
I'm liking the sneaker game. I'm not seeing Crocs. We got a lot of fresh
Okay, we got
Jordans
some
coming
fresh
out.
One more.
Jordans there.
Like
One
that.
more. We got to wrap up. Last one.
All right, last one. Make it big, bro. You better not choke. How you doing? What's your name, brother?
Naman.
Lamont?
Yep.
All right. Category, this is the last one, so you better go big.
I'm gonna go with who is he or she for 200.
Who's your shipper? Bro, that's not big. There's 500 on the board.
That's Hamza. That's gotta be
Bully.
Hamza.
Hamza.
You gotta hit the buzzer.
See, I know how to play the game.
Listen to
All
the
right.
rules, bro.
We gotta
what's
go.
the rules?
You gotta hit bully.
You try.
Who is he or she?
It's over, bro.
Oh, it's over?
That's
Oh,
it.
my bad.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right, thank you,
bro.
man.
All
Thank you,
right.
thank you.
Let's come back on screen if we can here and wrap things up.
Yeah, we're back on screen.
All
There we
right,
are.
there we go. TJ DeSantis, Jason Anik, Belal Muhammad. Things are happening here. Dave & Buster's UFC 295 is tomorrow. Definitely check it out if you are in the area. Thanks for coming on Extra Round again. I like. We need to do more of the game show next time. And I'll study.
Oh, you're on the street at the end.
You made me feel so self-conscious, Belal. So I'm gonna brush up on my skills here, and next time we come to New York City, everyone's in trouble because I'm running game. But in all seriousness, thanks for coming out, guys. We appreciate it, and let's do this again.
Anytime.
Same time next time.
Yes, exactly. All right, for Belal Muhammad and Jason Anik, I'm TJ DeSantis. We'll see you next time for more Extra Rounds from UFC Fight Pass. Good thing it happened at the end.